Good afternoon, class. My name is Mr. Martinez, and again, I'll be your teacher. So during this lesson, I ask you to please minimize the talking, and if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I'd like you to please be respectful to me and the rest of your friends around you as we go through this lesson in math. So today in math, we'll be learning about a new subject, converting base 10 into base 2 and 3. Now, you might probably be asking yourself, what's base 10? Well, base 10 is our decimal number system that we use every day. And it uses the numbers 0 through 9, and it repeats itself. Now, in base 10, the place values get 10 times greater. So we have 10 to the first will be 10, 10 to the second, 100, and as you move on, it gets 10 times greater, Now, in base 2, or binary, and base 3, and in base 2, the numbers in the place value gets 2 times greater. So it'll be 2 to the first is 2, 2 to the second is 4, and it goes, 2 times greater every time you have the place value. And base 3 is the same thing, but instead of that, it will be 3 times greater, for base 3. 3 to the first is 3, 3 to the second is 9, 27, and you move on and so forth. So, and every time we'll be looking at 3 examples, converting base 10 numbers into base 2 and 3. And I like to draw tables right here in base 2 and in base 3, and place the place values. Instead of placing 2 to the third is 8, I just like to place right there so I can know real quick what it is. Now in base 2 and 3, in base 2 we'll only use 2 numbers, which is actually 0 and 1. In base 3 we use 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, and 2. So we'll be looking at base 3 first, and then we'll move on to base 3. So let's move on. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Please let me know so I can slow down or answer your question. So we'll be converting 6 into base 2 first. So we have 6 right here. Now we'll go to our base. First step is we'll write in base 2 our table chart. Now we see that 6 does not go into the place values of 32, 6, or 8, but it does go into 4. So we'll put a 4 right here, and we'll subtract it. And we'll also put a number for 1 right here, because 4 goes into 6 one time. And that gives us a remainder of 2. Now we go to the next place value, which is 2. And we also know that 2 goes into 2 one time. So we place it right here. And we would just subtract it, and it will give us a remainder of 0. But we notice that we still have one place value, and there's 0 left. We would just put a 0 here, because 1, we use 0 of 1s. And we did not place anything here, no zeros, because we just didn't use them, so we'll just skip them. So in binary, for base 6 will be 1, 1, and 0. Now, in base 3, for number 6, it'll be the same thing. Same thing we did, but just in the place values, we'll just be using the 3s, we'll move on 3 times greater. So in number 6, we notice that these numbers, 81, 27, and 9, does not fit into 6, but 3 does. 3 fits into 6 2 times. So we'll put a number 2, remember, this is the numbers we use. We'll put a 2, and we'll just subtract it. And it'll give us a remainder of 0. Now, again, same thing over here. We did not use the 1, but we still have a place value, so we'll just place a 0. And in base 3, excuse me, in base 3, the number will be 2, 0. Not 20, but 2 and 0. Now, let's move on to our next one. If you have any questions, please let me know so I can slow down. We'll slow down, and you can answer, whatever it is it needs to be answered. So we have the number 15. So 15, we'll go into base 2 again. We'll use our base 2, and then we'll use our base, convert into base 3. So let me, sorry, it's very quick. We know that 32 and 16 in these place values does not fit into 6 and 15, but 8 does. And how many times does it fit into it? 1 time. So we'll place a 1 right there, and we will just subtract it. And that'll give us a remainder of 7. Now, 4 fits into 7 1 time. We'll subtract it, which is remainder of 3. 2 fits into 3 one time, and we'll just subtract it. That gives us 2, and 1 fits into 1 one time. We'll place a 1 right there, and we'll subtract it, and will give us a remainder of 0. So our converting 15 to base 2, our number will be, answer will be 1, 1, 1, 1. That will be it. Now, let's do it in base 3. And again, we'll be using our subtraction skill, so hopefully you're brushed up on that. So we have 15. Now, we'll be using in base 3. Now, 243, 81, and 27 does not fit into 15, but 9 does. And it fits into it one time, correct? However, correct. One time. So let's just subtract 9, and it'll give us a remainder of 6. Now, again, from the other one, if you could recall, 3 fits into 6 2 times. So we'll put a 2 and we'll just subtract it, because 2 times 3 is 6. It gives us a remainder of 0. Again, we still have to place a 0 right here because we still have one place value left, but we did not use a 1 any. So our converting 15 to base 3 will be 1, 2, 0. Not 120, but 1, 2, 0. Okay, let's move on into our last example, which is converting 27 into base 2 and base 3. If you have any questions, again, please let me know, because I want you to fully understand what we're doing, converting base 10 into base 2 and 3. Okay, so we have the number 27 right here. Using base 2 first. We know that 32 does not fit in, but 16 does. 16 will gives us a remainder of 11, and we used it one time. 8, we know that it fits into 11 one time, and we'll just keep on going as we're done. Gives a remainder of 3. Now 4 does not fit into 3, but we do not skip it. We actually put a 0 because it's 0, like we did with the other ones. 2 fits into 3 one time. Should place a 1, and 1 fits into 1 one time, and it gives it a remainder of 0. So 27 converted into binary will be 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Now let's convert 27 into base 3. Okay, so 27, well, this one will be pretty simple, because 27, we have 27 right here, and with 27 fits into 27 one time, and we're just subtracting. 27 minus 27 gives us a remainder of 0, and we know that 9, 3, and 1 does not fit into 0, but we still have to place a 0 right here. So 27 converted into base 3 will be 1, 0, 0, 0. Again, these I put over here the binaries for answers and the base 3 right here. So if you have any questions on how we did it, please let me know. We'll go over examples right now. I'm gonna give you 3 more examples, and we're gonna go over them. If you like, please, I would ask you if you like to join together with a friend, a group. I'll let you, I'll put like some examples right now on the board for you, and y'all can, converse with each other. Y'all can talk with each other and try to figure out how it is, and then we'll go over it, how we did, and then, we'll talk about our homework problems today. So go ahead right now and put in all your tables together, scoot with all your friends, so we can talk over what we just learned about this.